Husbands stress moms out twice as much as kids do, and we feel vindicated. That's the headline. So, your comments and takes.
So I think it's just a very male perspective of like, is he working out of the home
No, I'm just
11
saying,
hours a day and he doesn't need to be involved?
No, it's just from a data. The overwhelming majority, 75% to be exact, of moms said they always feel they need to do all the household and parenting chores because they don't think the work will get done. Otherwise, 1 in 5 moms.
But they are. In my opinion,
I know,
you're
I'm just
both working.
listen.
So as soon as that partner comes home, then you're both, like the
Yes,
one
help
person
me.
clocks out as the individual doing it and now you're a team.
There should be some sort of routine around it where, okay, once you come home, you get...
But so does the person who's been home all day.
Let me finish.
And you had to commute home.
Let me finish, man. Let me finish. The commute home is not a fairy tale.
So why is the person who's working outside the home more entitled to that than the person working inside the home?
I didn't even say
you
that.
are.
You're defending that, but I didn't even say that. I said you're both entitled. And
roll the tapes back.
Oh, we will. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blended. My name is Moen.
And Max.
And this is a podcast all about blended families, couples from different backgrounds, and children.
Family life.
Family life. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I read this fun little study on Instagram. These are posts going viral. I didn't actually look at the study, but I have an article open about the study. And it says, Patreon! If you guys like what you're doing, you're going to love what we're doing on Patreon.
With the Patreon, you get exclusive behind-the-scenes content such as photos, videos, other things like that. Not to mention, all of it is ad-free.
Yes, not just ad-free. You also get early and exclusive access to all our episodes before they are launched on YouTube. And not just that, we're also making special content for our Patreons who really love and support our journey here. So head on over to patreon.com/.
The Blended Couple.
Yes, and the link will be in the description below. And while you're at it, might as well give us a... It's on cafemom.com, so take it with a grain of salt. But it was going viral on Instagram with lots of comments, lots of likes. It says, science proves husbands stress moms out twice as much as kids do, and we feel vindicated. That's the headline.
That's sad.
So let's see the main parts of the study here. So in a survey conducted, 7,000 moms from across the US were asked about the reasons for their stress. The vast majority of moms rate their overall stress at a whopping 8.5 out of 10, which is crazy. That 46% of moms surveyed felt like their husbands caused them way more stress than their kids.
Thanks.
Okay. And then there's another one. So the overwhelming majority, 75% to be exact, of moms said they always feel they need to do all the household and parenting chores because they don't think the work will get done. Otherwise, 1 in 5 moms also said they feel stressed all the time because their husbands simply don't help them with any household chores. There's a quote which is by an anonymous mom. I'm exhausted emotionally and physically when my husband comes home. He feels like another job. So, your comments and takes.
So I think what this article is kind of pointing to is twofold. I think one, there's like the physical labor of running a household and parenting and all of that they're feeling alone in the relationship in. And I think there's also the mental load, which is a big component. That's like the unseen labor or the unseen mental work that goes into like kids' doctor's appointments, schools, what they need, what size clothing they're wearing, what clothing they need. All of like those like unseen things that kind of happen in the background, which typically are like on the female in the relationship to kind of coordinate and keep track of and accomplish, on top of typically most of them are working full time. They're doing the lion's share, if not most, like all of the parenting in the home, and then all of the like household chores and tasks and things like that. And we're very lucky that I can't say I relate at all to that. Right. I think you and I are pretty evenly distributed in a partnership in how we run the home and parenting and all that. But like just on Instagram, for example, the algorithm obviously spits out a lot of like mom related content to me. And I see this trope over and over and over again of like the husband being another child, and the husband just kind of being like a useless appendage within the household of like adding additional labor or being more stressful than their kids. Or like I see this kind of idea play out in memes and in like reels and things like that all the time. Like I don't think that this is an alarming or shocking article based on the content I'm seeing and how much of it I'm seeing. With that being said, I think it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
What are
Well, like the headline
thoughts?
says that so I'm guessing it's the woman, feel vindicated.
It's pretty strong language indicating a lot of people feel very strongly about it.
Right. And so if you went on the comment section, which I wanted to look at, and there was a lot of obviously moms and women commenting there saying, oh, did we really need a study for this? Finally, and yep,
it's kind of like
me.
Obviously was like the sentiment.
And there's some angry men in there too. So like, okay, so then the woman causes, where's the study on the woman causing men stress?
Which I would assume that likely would look financial.
Right. So anyway, it's I guess it's how, again, so with studies, you have to look at, because we didn't look at it in detail, it's like, so
how were they primed?
How are they primed? So is it when the kids are young? Like, what's the age of the kids? Is there one income earning fella? Fella who, I don't know.
No, I think that's a big piece of it too. Is if it's dual income or single income.
Are they working 10 to 11 hours a day? Like, so it's there's a lot of like caveats, right, that you can go and see. But did I say it right? Caveats?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's just a very male perspective of like, is he working out of the home
no, I'm just
11 hours a day and he doesn't need to be involved?
No, it's just from a data perspective. Because if it says if a woman with a newborn child and the man is not available, so all women with a newborn, 6 months old, dual income earners, and I was like, okay, that's very precise. And then if they're taking kids 7 or 8 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, there's just so many variables. And the ages of the parents. Anyway, so but there's a lot of truth to it, because there's a lot of man babies, man children.
Like the fact that there's even a term specific to the male gender of like man child is pretty indicative of where some men are at. Right.
And then the fact that there's an ongoing problem in a lot of marriages, and like just the amount of women commenting like, yep, that's me, is just sad to see, I guess. And then because I don't relate to those men, I was like,
yeah. But I think that just based on like the amount of accounts I've seen or firsthand or on the like social media of like women feeling like they don't have a partner in the home and in child rearing versus the amount who feel like they do actually have an equal partner. The equal partner subset is dramatically lower and far more rare than the ones feeling like their husband is an additional child to take care of, and that it's essentially on them to keep the house and the kids all running and everything, you know? I think that you and I and our type of dynamic of like equal partnership and being in it together is probably more on the unique side, unfortunately. And I think it's all in how we are socializing our young men and women and our children. And like the model we're setting up for them in our own relationships at home, that kind of will dictate where this goes from here. Now, the good thing is we are seeing an uptick in the amount of relationships that look like ours, where it's the men are actively and enthusiastically, being the big one, involved at home and with the kids and all those things.
Right.
But like I will say, like we outsource now our household tasks. For the most part, like we have a cleaning company, because I own a cleaning company. We have the cleaners come in every 2 weeks, and like that has alleviated like a ton of stress in our relationship.
That's true. So that's a big one, where we are in a position that we are able to.
We're very privileged to be able to do that
with your business. So just house cleaning, because that was
I would say that was probably the number one thing you and I bickered about was household tasks.
Yes, because. I mean, it's done now, but the main issues were that you would do a deep clean every 2 weeks or so. Mm-hmm. And
so keep in mind, that's like an entire 8 to 10 hour day.
Yes. And my thing was general maintenance over the
day-to-day tasks.
2 weeks. So clean up the tables and
Dishwasher.
dishes and garbage. And so when it came time for the deep clean, I'll be like, oh,
I'm done.
I don't want to. And then when you would, and we also wouldn't plan. So we tried to plan. Okay,
You can't plan a hyper focus, babes.
Yes,
you just can't. It just the will comes when it comes.
Right. So that was one of the issues. Like, okay, plan it on this day, and then it wouldn't happen on this day, and I'll be like, okay, we didn't plan it, and then you would always be spontaneous, like, okay, I'm doing this, and then get upset when I wasn't doing it. So anyway, we've outsourced it now, and it's a lot better.
Yep. I mean, if you have the means or the ability to do it, I highly recommend it. And not because I own a cleaning company, because go to any cleaning company, but because it has been so good for us. And like, I'm not on top of the kids all the time. Like, I think everyone is just happier and healthier because we don't have to like bicker and argue about who's gonna scrub the bathroom and like who's gonna clean the kitchen and mop the house. Like, it's a big task, and when you're both working and raising kids and are busy, and yeah, it's a huge, like, I don't think I'd ever go back. Like, it's a huge improvement in our quality of life.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So yeah, back to the survey or the study. Final thoughts.
I mean, like, do better is kind of my like my unfiltered opinion. I am biased, but like, honestly, like, come on, guys. Like, women, one, like, communicate. And if you can't communicate, bring in a counselor, somebody who can help facilitate that conversation. But like, don't be like silently resentful. Like, communicate the need, communicate where you're struggling, and come up with a plan. Like, be a couple against the problem together and not against each other.
Yes.
And like,
wise
just
words.
find thank you. And then just find a way through it where you can just have like a plan. I think the Fair Play method is an excellent resource. So there's tons of content online about it. There's books about it, or I think one particular book called the Fair Play method. If you are struggling with this, I highly, highly recommend doing some research and reading that book. Not just the female, again, like, the female should not have to take on the mental load. If your partner is struggling, like, go read the book and then like figure it out together. Like, it shouldn't be up to the woman to like identify the issue, do the research, and then coming up with the solution, and then being the enforcer of implementing the solution. Like,
right.
Teamwork makes the dream work. But
very correct.
I think like it comes down to like generational change, where we're socializing our children differently and modeling different relationship patterns and models. But just, if you're in it now, I my empathy is with you, and men do better. Do you have a softer take on that?
Softer take.
Then my very harsh.
My only variance would be if there is a single income earner. So
Yes.
either man or woman, right?
Yes.
So nowadays, sometimes the men stay at home with the kids, and the woman is the income earner. So whoever the income earner is, if they're coming back, I don't know, 5, 6 p.m. and they're gone the whole day, one is they want to de-stress when they come home, and also the partner who is at home also wants to de-stress because the other person is home. There's like a double de-stress.
Yes, because both are work. Like, I find that most, like, men are like, well, I work outside the house all day and I need a break. But like, if you look at the cortisol levels of women who are staying at home with the young children, they're like exponentially higher. And they're working. Like, that is a job. Running the household, taking care of the kids, doing all those things is a job. So there's a whole other topic in that, what you're bringing up altogether.
Right. So whoever's staying home is also working, and the person who's working is also working. So there has to be some sort of a plan where, the partner who's working is not expected to come home and then also start doing dishes or, do
But
more.
they are. In my opinion, you're both working. So as soon as that partner comes home, then you're both, like, the one person clocks out as the individual doing it, and now you're a team.
There should be some sort of routine around it where, okay, once you come home, you get...
But so does the person who's been home all day.
Let me finish.
And you had the commute home.
Let me finish, man. Let me finish. The commute home is not a fairy tale. There's traffic.
No, but it's still a break.
It's not. When you're driving home in traffic, it's stressful.
Why are you talking to me as if I've never worked or commuted before?
I'm just saying that it's not stressful. You might like it because you like
Of
listening
course,
to music.
but like it's still like that
So,
person at home has had zero.
Right. So my point is have a plan around it. Mondays.
To be fair, we both like
or-
historically we have both worked, and then
Right.
now we're both entrepreneurs. So I've never been like a stay-at-home wife. So I talk about this passionately, but it's not like I have ever done
So you
that.
can do alternate days where one person on that day expected to come home and do the dishes, and whoever the partner is at home can relax for X amount of hours, and then do something else a different day, do something together another
so essentially
day.
is like come up with a plan.
A routine. And it's something you guys do every day, and then if one day you're both tired.
But I just refuse to propagate the like narrative of like if he or she works outside the home, they get to come home and take a break when that person who's been home working all day has had zero switching gears, zero moments of respite. They have like, especially if it's with young children, they are on every moment and then expected to continue once that other partner gets home with zero respite.
Right. The kids do take naps though sometimes.
What do you think the parent is doing in those nap times? Do you think they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs? They're likely cooking, they're cleaning, they're taking care of bills, whatever.
Yeah, okay, fine.
And the person who's working gets like lunch breaks and
I know,
like mandated breaks.
That's the equivalent to commuting back in traffic.
No,
you said that's a break.
No, you get when you work, you get breaks during the workday.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's for 6 hours, there's absolutely not a single minute where you get to do something.
As a parent with a toddler or an infant?
Yes, because they sleep all the time.
Well, yeah, but it's not.
You've been a parent with a toddler and infant.
Yes, it's
and
hard.
I've been a parent with a toddler and infant. It's hard. I agree. But I'm just saying that you get a few minutes.
So does
here
the person who's at work surrounded by
that's
adults
exactly
and taking lunch breaks.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So and then you get a car ride to just like not be asked anything or bothered by anyone
to
to
me,
do anything.
a car ride in traffic.
It's not ideal. It's not like you're watching
TV. It's not
TV.
a stress-free environment. It's
okay.
also stressful.
But
to me, true stress-free is when you're home. And then
so why is the person who's working outside the home more entitled to that than the person working inside the home?
I didn't even say
you
that.
are.
You're defending that, but I didn't even say that. I said you're both entitled and
roll the tapes back.
We will. And then make a plan around it. Nobody's more entitled than the other person. I'm just saying, one day some person's day is harder, the other day the other person's day is harder. And so be honest and communicate that.
So it'd be like, okay, I'm at 50% today. Where are you at? And
exactly.
And
Got if you're both at 0%, then that's just a
you're in
bad
the
day.
Trenches together.
Yeah, just sit together and rot in your filth. Don't do the dishes. Just kidding. Anyway, that was intense. All right, so that is it for today.
We want to know your thoughts. So I want to know your thoughts.
I also want to know your thoughts.
Particularly with like the one parent staying at home and the person working. I think that if I were to be a stay-at-home parent, like I don't have my business, I don't have a job, nothing, then it is for 40 hours a week, I get done as much of the household tasks and things like that as possible. However, after that 40 hours, after that workday, we are now in it together. Like Correct. We are now parenting together, dinners, bath times, like appointments, Correct. Whatever. You are in that together. Correct. Oh, see, I'm always right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Anyway, so welcome to Blended.
Yes, welcome to Blended.
Thanks for sticking around if you're still here. And yes, send us your comments and questions and yeah.
Or like struggles of like if you're having like a dispute with your spouse, like anonymously, like let us know what it's about and if you want our opinion. And
yeah, if you're a blended family, what are your challenges that we haven't touched on? We'd love to talk about those as well. There's a lot to unpack and uncover. Yeah, we see you guys next time and hopefully do an ADHD mini-series.
If you have any preemptive questions or comments or anything about ADHD, let us know that too.
It's not going to be where...
You don't know. People might have things that they want us to talk about.
Yes, there's a community tab on YouTube that we can use.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're done. Bye.
Bye. Roll the tapes back.
We will.